Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Got 3 packs of Magic Origins, my, I guess you could call it spoils from the weekend pre-release. Open them up, and let's see what we got. Now this is just 3 packs. You can look at it as a drafting exercise or just to get some ideas of what kind of picks I would make specifically. Of course your packs will be different, your choices will be different. But let's see what's in store. Okay. Demolish, Elvish Visionary, Artificer's Epiphany, Hirapur Gearcrafter, Undead Servant, Dread Waters, Mrs. Pilgrimage, Suppression Bonds, and Veteran Sidearm. Some interesting cards. Veteran Sidearm, it's an okay. It's just a common equipment. I don't expect very much out of it. Uncommons, Brawler's Plate. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has trample. Let's see, 3 to get out and 4 to equip. That's quite a bit. 7 mana just to have a reusable 2/+2/+2, but it does give it trample. I don't know. Let's see. Bounding Krasis, interesting. I have a Riku of 2 Reflections deck for Commander that I'm building. This would be a fun combo with Splinter Twin and or Kiki-Jiki. We'll see. Next up, Malakir Cullblade. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Malakir Cullblade. Vampire Warrior. Good for Warrior Tribal, good for vampires. If this were being spliced in with any of the Tarkir block, this might be a good pick. Just because there's so many good cards with Warrior Tribal. I mean, a few. At the very least, it's a good card, and there's a lot of sacrifice effects that you can force your opponent to do. Not so many in the set, though. Next, our rare is Nissa's Revelation. Scry 5, then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you draw cards equal to its power, and you gain life equal to its toughness. Huh, there's 2 more cards after that. Weird. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah, we've got a foil. Okay, well, anyway, Nissa's Revelation. The Scry effect in green, that's pretty good. I mean, 5 cards, you're likely to get any kind of a card draw in those 5. Of course, you can then switch it around that if you only get a creature that's like a 2 power or 3 power, or perhaps it's a Savage Knuckleblade and it's 4 power, you'd set it up so that those other cards that get placed on the bottom aren't going to be there, and then whichever of those cards you want, you'd put that directly underneath the Savage Knuckleblade. Reveal that card and draw 4 more cards, including the Savage Knuckleblade. So, that's a pretty cool card. Alright, let's see what our foil is. Elvish Visionary. Wow, 2 of those in 1 pack. That's pretty neat. Let's see. I don't see any Elf Tribal in this this booster pack, but that is an interesting combo. I really like the Hirapur Gearcrafter. These are really good in Limited, and they might be really good in Standard, depending on what kind of deck you build. I mean, the Overload Dynacharge card was really, really good. Dynacharge kind of was my favorite deck to build back in the Return to Ravnica block. And just being able to pop out all those tokens, giving them haste, and or just being able to swing out with them. There's so many really, really good cards that put out extra creatures. So now we've got Dragon Fodder and Hordling Outburst, and Red has so many cards that just put out creatures. So, yeah, all those cards that work for creatures coming into play and dealing a bunch of damage for it, like Purphoros, I think that's going to be a deck type. That's just a really good deck type right there. And Pia and Karan Nalaar, those tokens. I mean, it's 3 cards for. Yeah, there's a lot there. There's a lot of cool combos with Purphoros right now. It's a shame Purphoros is going to be rotating out, but I'd like to see more people play him while he's still in. Now, hey, we got another flip card. Wonder if I should do another one of these for the. Just to show people it can still be done. I don't know, maybe, we'll see. Forest? Alright, let's see what our next pack is. Let's see. A Crowan Sergeant. Let's go ahead and start combining these up. Give ourselves a little bit more room. Let's see. Let's put that rare foil over there. let's put the rare with it. I didn't see very much in this for drafting. Obviously, Bounding Krasis is a really good card. It's a 3/3 for 3 with flash. That's pretty good. Of the entire deck, yeah. I'd probably have picked. I'd probably pick the Krasis. I mean, this is Revelation's pretty good. If I were going from cards to potentially put in Commander or something like that, I'd probably have gone with that, but I'd probably let that pass and gone with the Krasis because it can, I mean, it's more useful. You can just flop it out there to block something. Anyway, let's keep going. Yoked Ox, interesting. Basswood Gorger, Artificer's Epiphany, another one of those. Scrapskin Drake, Vine Snare, interesting. Prevent all combat damage will be dealt this turn by creatures with power 4 or less. That's most creatures in the set, if I'm not mistaken. Except for like really huge ones and Mythic Rares, and of course the Basswood Gorger. See, Cleric of the Forward Order. Gain 2 life for each creature you control named Cleric of the Forward Order. So you gain 2 life just for it coming into play. You know, and then you gain 2 life for each other one that's in play that you control. Lightning Javelin, 4 mana for 3 damage, and Scry. Although that's I would expect this to come around 2 or 3 more times. If it did come back around and it was like my third pick, I'd probably go for the Lightning Javelin just because that's going to, that would be able to do some damage. Probably not. If this were like my third pick in the draft, then maybe, because that gets rid of most of the creatures you see right here, and that's worthwhile. I mean, you get to scry as well. Shambling Ghoul. Interesting. 2/3 for 2. Battlefield tap. Not bad. Calculated Dismissal. Counter target spell and controller pays 3. Spellmaster, if there are 2 or more instant and or sorcery cards in your graveyard. Scry 2. Actually, not bad. It's not quite. It's what Mana Leak could do better, I guess. Mana Leak gets out, you know, for just 2 mana. This having 3 mana open, and they might still be able to do it. But then there is the fact that you can pay 3 mana, counter it, and they pay the 3 anyway, but you still get to scry 2. So even if you can't counter their spell, you can still cast this just so you could scry 2. So it has uses later on in the game. We'll go uncommons. Ravaging Blaze. Deals X damage to target creature, and then spell mastery, it deals X damage to that creature's controller. Not bad. Actually, I like it. It's a good removal spell, potential to do some really serious damage, and it's an instant. Might even see that in some play of this in Commander. I think it's a good card. Totem Guide Heartbeast. I remember this from Zendikar block. Let's see. Enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an aura card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Not bad. 5 mana for 2/5, obviously. That's, you know, a lot. But you are getting an aura card out of it. It is a tutor type of card. You get to search for something, so that's nothing to be really that upset about. Next card. Thunderclap Wyvern. 4 mana for 2/3 flying with flash. Other creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. Excellent with spirits. You can hold back your mana for a counter spell to counter something on their turn. When they don't cast anything during their end step, you can flash this in, and on your turn you can swing out with it and your other flying creatures. Actually, it's a really good card in Limited because you can build around it very, very easily. Lots of flying Thopters and things like that. And let's see, our rare is Mana Gorger Hydra. Another green card. Trample. This creature deals excess combat damage to depending player or planeswalker while attacking. Now, excess means it has to deal damage to each of the blocking creatures and destroying them in consecutive order. If there's any damage after killing all the creatures that block it, then it deals the excess damage to a player or to a planeswalker. Whenever a player casts a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Mana Gorger Hydra. That's pretty neat. Let's see, Mana Bloom. A lot of cool cards that keep recurring back into your hand to be cast over and over again, so we'll see. That's actually not too bad of a rare card. I could see a lot of decks going with this. If you had a sacrifice effect and things like Rancor, that would just keep recycling. Yeah, not bad. And our land is a Plains. Came out of the Gideon pack. Yeah. And even more. Jace cards. Yeah. I wonder if we'll get a third one out of this one. Let's see. Weight of the Underworld, a Crowan Sergeant, Charging Griffin, very nice and limited, essentially a 3/3 attacker. Catacomb Slug, excellent blocker, Disperse. Caustic Caterpillar, I love this card. Gets rid of the little tokens, but it also gets rid of equipment cards that are very powerful. Gets rid of enchantment cards that are very powerful. I wasn't expecting them to print a card like this, honestly. Being able to destroy artifacts or enchantments on a creature means that green's ability to just destroy enchantments and artifacts has gone up. That's, you know, that might be useful in Tiny Leaders, might be useful to know in Commander. It's something you can search for with Isan the Wandering Bard. It's a good card. Wild Instincts. 4 mana, target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. It fights target creature an opponent controls. I wonder how this works. See, you can cast this before combat, so your creature will get the +2/+2, likely survive, and then swing out. Works with First Strike, of course, but Epic Confrontation only gives +1/+2 and costs 2 colorless mana less. I feel like that's odd. Epic Confrontation, I think, is still a common, so I'm not sure. I guess they can't have both of them in the same set, and that's probably what caused it to happen. Alchemist Vial. Let's see. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. That works for egg-type decks. 2 mana to draw a card. Not bad. 1 sacrifice. Target creature can't attack or block this turn. It's a good stall tactic, and you got a card back out of it. I can see blue decks and control decks playing 4 of those just because it's a free stall tactic on your opponent's creature just for 1 turn. Yeah. Nantaku Husk. That Bloodbaron effect. Brawler's Plate. Got another one of those. Again, I understand why it's there, but it makes me think about what's coming in Battle for Zendikar. That means this had to be this overcosted for effects. Probably means that Standard's going to be too powerful without it. I mean, with something a little bit better than this. Scab Goliath, as an additional cost to cast Scab Goliath, exile 2 creature cards from your graveyard, 6 mana for 6/9 trample. Zombie Giant. That's actually pretty interesting. The exiling 2 creature cards from your graveyard is negligible because you can mill them into your graveyard. You can sacrifice them to your graveyard. I could see people playing this because 6/9 trample in blue, probably with the assault formation effect, because then you can make it into a 9/6 for 6 mana, and losing 2 creatures doesn't hurt you that much. So assault formation might be a deck type in blue because you have Sidisi's Faithful, I think it is. Yeah, it's a 1 blue mana 0/4 with assault formation means it's a 4/4. Yeah, that's pretty darn good. Let's see, almost run out of room. Another Thunderclap Wyvern, and we're going to have a foil in this pack. Our rare card is Kothophed. Kothophed? Probably Kothophed. I don't know. Soul Hoarder. 6 mana for 6/6 flying. Whenever permanent owned by another player is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Permanent means tokens count. That's a thing. It's an interesting card in this set. 6 mana for 6/6 flying. That's pretty good in and of itself. Might work as a commander because you can force your opponent to sacrifice permanents all the time. And yeah, getting able to draw cards isn't too bad either. So I could see people building decks around it. Our full card is Orbs of Warding. Nice. A foil gold. 5 mana, you have hexproof. Kind of like a Witchbane Orb. And then if a creature would deal damage to you, prevent 1 of that damage. Oof, that kind of hurts the Chandra Fire of Kaladesh card, but still yet. Orbs of Warding, 5 mana hexproof card, and it prevents damage from creatures. That's pretty good for control. That's actually really good for control. That's a nice foil. Well, got a Swamp and a Thopter Hurricane. Yay! So Jace, Thopter, Jace. Not too bad. These packs were pretty good. Let's see, tomorrow I'm going to open up 3 more packs and we'll see what's in those, and hopefully by the end of next week we'll have a pretty good idea of what we're going to be playing for release. Maybe we'll even get to... I'd like to get back to recording, and maybe I could do a draft sometime Just have to talk to my local shop if it's okay and see if I can keep everybody's cussing from getting too far. But yeah, good pack. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope this was informative, and I hope you're having a wonderful morning, a wonderful afternoon, or a wonderful evening. Take care, everyone.